in past 6 months, those guys didn't win a single map against you. Is this something that we see already some upsets on this stage? Are you afraid that this overconfidence might play a certain role here?
No, we know that the FaZe is a good team and we don't want to underestimate them. I'm not sure how to say it, but yeah, I'm just really looking forward to play, and they are a good team, so we just want to play our game and try to be as ready as we can for the day, and we are ready. So.
For many years, Mouse was called FaZe Academy. Are you ready to show that this meme is officially dead?
There is no FaZe Academy anymore, so.
Good luck.
Carrigan. I thought this was Budapest, where it should be Torzi's home, didn't you?
I thought so as well, but thanks for the support, guys. 0.4 seconds away for not being here.
Now, I spoke to you back when you were one game away to qualify for the playoffs. You told me there will be less pressure on you when it comes to this, that you guys will be the dangerous, deadly team. Does the whole team have that mentality today?
I made sure to tell them everybody's talking about top 7 in the world in the playoff and FaZe Clan. They mention us in the bottom of all other 7 teams, but let's take round by round, game by game. I've been here many times. Not so often I'm underdog in playoff, but I'm gonna enjoy it every single second.
I know you will. And you got to look at this head-to-head matchup. If we go back a couple of years, you were dominating Mouse. You knew how to do it. Things have changed. You've started to suffer the losses from them now. Have you been able to get yourselves ready, get the team ready to turn it here and go into the semi-finals?
All along this year has been about our mentality. What I can tell about these guys, they're bringing the FaZe DNA, FaZe mentality I've been fighting for many years. So whatever happens in the game, FaZe Clan never gives up. And that's what we're going to show today. They're on paper the better team than us, but we are here to fight for every single round we play.
Oh, I know you will. Carrigan, good luck. Thank you. Well, Budapest! It sounds like I already have a bit of an idea of where you're going. But I see the Mouse squad over there. So if you've got some love for Mouse, let me hear you! Okay, not too bad. And then we got a bunch of FaZe fans over here. So if you're supporting FaZe today, make some noise! Well, this energy, no matter who you're supporting, which team you're going for, I need to give you every bit of energy that you have. So Budapest, everyone inside the MVM Dome, make some noise!
Mä en ammu hussinut.
Of Hungary is where our next battle will ensue, and I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting the arena to erupt with chants for Mouse, for calls for Torzi, but everywhere that FaZe Clan goes, somehow the fans follow, and I can't blame them. When you have Carrigan giving words like that before going into the series, performing like they've done all major long, fair play, fair play.
I can't believe it, can't believe that not even here, Mouse can have a home crowd advantage. It feels like wherever they go, they will be the underdogs in that regard. You're right though, Freya. When it comes to FaZe Clan, one of the most entertaining teams you can possibly watch in Counter-Strike. And even here in Carrigan right there, he's coming in with a bit of a fight in him. Often he's a little bit more jokingly, he likes to poke towards the opponents and put away all the pressure. It felt like he came in here ready to fight, ready to make a point.
And he's already making a point right here. We've got the veto before us. FaZe are actually going for the nuke pick, which against Vitality. And I'd say Maus going with the more typical pick here in Inferno. Mirage, a decider that I thought actually FaZe might have gone for as their pick. So the veto actually, in my eyes, shifts a little bit more in favor of FaZe, given the fact that they went for something that's a little bit more out there in nuke, but one that they've shown they have a good track record on.
I'm a little surprised that Overpass was not necessarily in the mix right there coming in from Mousesports. I feel like that could have been a sort of punish pick towards FaZe.
A little straightforward for Mouse.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe they're playing it safe, playing it cautious, but as you said, like I think Kerrigan said it, we said it, you could see it on the screen as well. I think most people predict Mouse to win this one, so maybe taking the least risk possible is a way to get there.
Straightforward for Mouse, but Jacob, you're always coming in with a little bit of a curveball, with a little bit of a bold statistic. What have you got for us this time?
No, but I just said it before, right? In terms of the fracking in-game leaders, we have 2 of the worst rated players on the server, but I think they have to contribute in each their respective way. Karrigan, obviously, not known to be a fracking in-game leader. I said it before, 2,413 days since he last had a big LAN event with a positive KD. He's currently minus 27 for this event, so he has to have a banger of a game, a banger of a playoff in order to change that. Since then, Freya, Bitcoin has gone up 1,183%. Kyusuke was 11 years of age. Saivu hadn't won a trophy, and ever since Saivu have won 20 trophies in 2 majors. And Freya, you had your debut as a desk host, and ever since you've done 74 events as a desk host. So in terms of when was the last time Karrigan had one of those banger events where he was the fracking in-game leader, it's been a while. But the point being, I don't think he needs to be. I think he needs to be a leader. I think he needs to activate Twist. He needs to activate Frozen. He needs to be the guy that Jacob can look towards and find a bit of comfort in. For Karrigan, it's not about how many frags he gets in this game. It's about how much can he activate the players around.
He's already shown that he can do that on Nuke. In their win versus Vitality earlier in Stage 3, he got behind ZywOo and knifed him. How often does ZywOo get knifed, okay? So they're creating plans that have misdirection baked into them. They're using the outside cross smokes to get so much varied space. And so Exertion, Mouse, they're going to be on their guard. They're going to have to make sure that there's no real stone that's left unturned in terms of just making sure that FaZe are corralled. That's something that's so difficult for Vitality when they played FaZe. They were having such a tough time of figuring out where the next hit is coming from because Karrigan was simply in his bag. I couldn't believe the amount of varied looks and the amount of finishers that they had off of losing earlier in Stage 1 to Fluxo. They lost to Art and Fluxo, and yet they beat Vitality less than a week later. So the progress has been tremendous. That is where we actually have to give a little bit credit to Neo, who's been on the hot seat lately for FaZe. And so really, they've brought the prep into this. I hope that Maus have a counter because or else they could just be blindsided here.
We spoke Karrigan, we spoke a bit of Jacob, of course, as well. We know what we're gonna get from Twist and from Frozen, a player's name that we haven't mentioned, and I feel like we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't say Brokey. He's had a turnaround as well. I know a lot of the focus is on Jacob. Brokey had a terrible Stage 1, he had a rough Stage 2 as well. In Stage 3, Brokey turned up for the first time. The Brokey that we haven't seen in, dare I say, a couple of years, where he was the difference maker, where his intuition took over, where he actually had an awful lot of impact with the rifle, with the AWP. That Brokey, we need to see him in the playoff today. And as you said, Mauer, the sample size is actually quite large for Brokey. He's been underwhelming for quite some time. But if what Brokey did in Stage 3 is what we can expect from Brokey here at the playoff, then FaZe stands a chance. But that's my point right here. I need to see the best from Jacob. I need to see the best from Brokey. I need to see Twist keep doing what he does. Otherwise, FaZe doesn't stand a chance. So it does feel like for me that everything has to align for them in order to beat Maus. Whereas for Maus, if you just activate a couple of their players, a couple of their strengths, whether that being the team play, whether that being Spinks as a closer, whether that being Exertion as an entry, just a couple of those working out for you should be enough.
This might sound like a little bit of cope looking at the Mouse side, but for Torzy walking out on the stage, right, maybe he'd anticipated a little bit more of a crowd, but maybe it's a sigh of relief, right? Not every single eye is looking in your direction in this arena. Do you think that might make him feel a little bit more comfortable immediately getting onto the stage? Because I don't feel like we see the Mouse of old where it is literally hit playoffs and then you have your issues, but in pressure situations, they kind of arguably are still struggling in some of those.
It's a unique perspective there, Freya, and one that actually could play into their favor. The fact that, let's be honest, more people were shouting for FaZe there than for Maus.
Yes.
I mean, I still am kind of flabbergasted by that fact, but one where some of the pressure is in fact relieved. That Maus could probably think of themselves more about just playing their own game through and through, activating the script that Cyclone has already written for them throughout the first handful of rounds, and hopefully if it needs to happen, then he can just call a timeout. I feel like in a way, they're going to be a little bit calmer. It might be a bit of a blessing too that you're getting a Friday game, first one of the day as well, so that it's not completely packed out, where every eye is just bearing upon you, where every single move is so more under the microscope and scrutinized. So those are certain aspects that could play in the favor of Maus, who, like you said, I mean, I feel like they shed some of the demons of big stage games last year, especially in Rio, but now and then you see them play a little bit beneath their level in terms of just individuals not stepping up.
Some of them, like we'll give the, Vitality Cologne example, but then what happened immediately after that? They felt literally flat versus Spirit. I don't think they've totally shed that narrative quite yet, no?
Maybe not when it comes to the grand finals and winning trophies. I feel Lisbon as well was a great example of a team that actually showed resilience. They went up against Vitality. They were leading that series 2-1 and could have won that grand final. Again, they ended up losing. So I think, being a choker or having demons to slay in the playoff, I feel like we have to treat playoff as quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. And if you get consistently into the semifinals or into the grand finals, then you can't really be playoff chokers, because otherwise you wouldn't get there.
Right.
But there's a difference between winning a grand final and losing a grand final, and that's what we all speak about when it comes to Falcons. Again, are they playoff chokers? Not necessarily. They get into semifinals, they get into finals, but they can't really win them. So I think the same could be said for Mouse. I'm curious though. I feel like they can win over the crowd. I think Torsi can have a case right here to be made where if he beats FaZe Clan tonight, if he beats Karrigan out of the tournament, there's a world where he will win over this crowd.
Well, either way, it's time to get our next quarter-final rolling. It's Mouse versus FaZe.
Quarterfinal, Mouse versus FaZe. Unleash the beast. Good luck and have fun.
Let's get this party started, Budapest! There's pressure, friends and family watching in the stands, and the world gathers to watch as the best do battle. Second day of quarterfinals, Nuke to start. Mouse on that favored CT side.
Let's see if FaZe can keep this up, eh? Everyone's surprised to see them here. 20 maps, most played. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, now the playoff stage. This is where Karrigan, Counter-Strike's greatest showman, is going to put on exactly that.
And this is the map where they were 0.4 seconds away from being eliminated in Stage 1 to the Red Canids. Still in the playoffs now. And a start like that. It's Frozen's clock connecting onto an aggressive exertion. Jimmy responsible for the ramp side. Pressure applied, and he's down.
Jacob out the gates early. Major rookie, first big stage. That's what you love to see.
Quick rotation. Roland and Spinks dip down into the vents. Audible plant trying to disrupt and get him off. Multiple bodies encroaching. Another from Jacob. Spinks is down. A perfect FaZe Clan round. What a start.
Karrigan's been talking about that DNA, the core identity. Mental fortitude, comfort in chaos, clutch comebacks, but the stage, this is what every Counter-Strike player dreams of, and this is the start you would hope for. FaZe, somehow the fan favorite in Torji's hometown.
Oh man, that's still baffling. I understand Maui's disbelief. We all understood that the angle coming into this was Maui's first time with a home crowd advantage. Up against fan favorite FaZe.
And that feels like it's going to work against you.
100%! How does that not rock your confidence? Twist is already trying to do some more of that. Look at him getting cheeky around the smoke. Exertion's been overlooked. Staring straight at him through the smoke. Karrigan in the meantime has caught Brolan. A weird standoff between the two of them, and there's Exertion. Solid on the Deagle. Maybe Mouse can turn this around, but already that bomb is ticking, chat.
Yeah, might be the save. Hold on to this, go again into the next. Don't throw it all away. You lose to the top pop. You give over the second, sure, but another opportunity to keep pressure on into the next. If Exertion can grab this MAC-10, he can give that to one of his teammates into the next, and they can give it a real hot shake. Exertion, highest rated player for Mouse, coming from Stage 3 into the playoffs, and he needs to be here. There's going to be lots of this. Nuke and Inferno, the two maps to start the series, so get used to the saves, everyone. Mouse, 13 tournaments in 2025. With this roster, 5 finals, 1 trophy, 7 semis, worst placing 5th to 8th. Mastered the art of consistency without contention. This is a team that we thought would be bolstered by the environment to push them through. We'll have to see how that works against them. So the double dip right now with those saves.
Yeah, this sibling rivalry. I thought Big Bro was going to be getting a little bit too big for his boots. Thought it was a chance for Mouse to really kind of shake that off. And it certainly still is. Second bite of the cherry. Let's see if it's sweet. Karrigan's got a lot of immediate plans in motion. You can see Yard, pressure applied. Twist spotted ahead of the wall of smoke's plume.
Yeah, well, the CT setup, Carrigan holds Yard and Exertion, the same for Mouse. But on this T side, Twist to be the man jousting with him. A little bit more equal in terms of the firepower output of those two. RVD, can he get Exertion's number here today? Ramp pressure onto Jimmy, block smoke out.
Hey, is it going to be disrespected? Jimmy just a little burst of the MP9, but he seems to have done his job.
Yeah, no need to brute force through that just yet for FaZe. They've still got plenty of time on the clock, the utility, the firepower advantage in their favor. So reroute, take a breath, and make sure that you putt this one in for what should be a third.
Carrigan prepares for pressure towards that A site.
Oh, boosted Jimmy up now, so a higher elevation might be unexpected.
Pressure towards top. Roland, that Mag-10 does do bits. Carrigan's got down. And what is that from Jacob? A leaping Mag-10. Shaw goes down to Exertion. Still a 3-on-3. Bombs on the back of Brokey. We need to pivot, and it's into Roland. Cheeky forward position. Brought down by the Flames. RVD delivers a double. Just as easy as that. Bomb kept at bay by the Flame. A flank from Xertion. Low HP and a Deagle out. Oh, and caught scavenging. It's Twist that turns it around, the difference maker. He looks so comfortable in that FaZe Clan jersey.
We know Twist and Frozen in these big games, if they can deliver for Carrigan, that's going to get this FaZe Clan team across the line against anybody.
I really liked his position there.
Yeah, Jacob, you're wondering if he's going to be able to get his stage legs. Well, legs off the ground for that one.
Yeah.
Real eyes on this young buck, and we know that anytime he does anything, Mr. Anderson, we geeing up his boy. Odds favoring Mouse, but we'll see for how long. Underway now, first rifle round. Torji gets out his AWP. This is into a top pop right now, so smoke wall, they have to worry about rotation. Nobody's dipped down to B, setting up this util to hit A. Here comes the nades.
On the reload, they get cheeky with it. Frozen's just going to walk on out. Spinks should be dead. Brought down, there's the trade. Roland finding Jacob, there's number 2. Holds his ground, holds his sight. He has support now from Torji scoped up. Ramp has been taken, seized, and the bomb's heading B. Brokey parks the bus.
If he gets anything done, this would be massive right now. Twist and Carrigan can set up the post plant.
Is he going to catch that little window of opportunity? He is! Catches Jimmy Sallow sleeping.
Brolin's rotated down. Torji's still on the high ground.
Yeah, but he's got the AWP and low HP on Brolin. It looks like it might just be a lost cause.
Now back on out, hold on to these guns and go again into the next.
Wow.
Misdirection there again, and the crowd not loving the saves. They had that slew of results I was talking about. Let's see if they can hold on to these. Brokey, on the cusp of taking it away, but he'll be the man to go down. Torji confirms the open runway. Loss bonus in their favor now. It is going to be maxed out 3,400, so they can buy again into the next if they'd like. Look at those 13 tournaments, those finals, those top 4 placings up against the hyperbolic time chamber of 20 maps over 3 stages of the major. Getting this team together, building T-side and nuke. And the ambulance is pulling up early.
Rakit kurnik.
Brolin will be out of spawn with an MP9, so giving the AK to Jimmy. M4s for everybody else, and Torji with that AWP still in the mix. Torji dropping down to play through Secrets. Fast ramp.
It's fast indeed, and Jimmy's got that quick aim. He tracked 2, brought down by Frozen, maintains that ramp control, but Torji started here. You're not ready for the sniper. You're not ready for Torji. Twist jumps to his demise. An important find, and now a 2-man advantage for Mouse just to break that goose egg. Just to get the party started. A missed shot whistles past Brokey's ear. Progress in, smoke onto the site, trying to amp up the pressure. Opportunity for the plant. It's Frozen punching in that code. Low HP for him. It's Brokey on that rifle, but maybe Spinks goes overlooked here. Frozen may be perceiving it as clear. He's tucked in on the control side. Single door for Brokey.
2 in from ramp.
Good angle for it, but Spinks should have him at any jiggle. It's all about the timing of these engagements. Who moves first from Mouse? They're starting to push up from the ramp side. He's caught them. No, Spinks in cover. Provides the covering fire. Necessary round coming for Mouse. Surely not from Brokey. Not the 5 HP one before. Oh, he gets close to it. A chance onto the diffuser. Mouse are in it. They get the board. They get the round on the board. And then maybe they're going to convert a couple more fans, a couple more of those Hungarians here with a FaZe jersey on.
And Okay, well, another buy available here for FaZe, but great double from Jimmy. That's what you want from your ramp anchor. A gear shift, he gets 2, that's more than enough, and then Torji, they jump into his loving embrace. He's the man that brings the fire. Well, let's see if he can bring the firepower. The AWP's going to be a rotating element of all of this. What's the change? Is it back to regular schedule programming? Lots of mollies towards top. This is to harass the placement on the rotation in from Spinks.
Oh wait, they're just walking on out. That was the bomb. Roller does well. Jacob provides the trade. Does he call his jets? No, he wants more. Twist is pincering in. Spinks still linking for the sniper, just spamming him through the smoke. Jacob, that's a big pickup. 3-on-2, awkward now, especially with bad incendiary. It gets from bad to worse. Torji feeling like he doesn't really get to play in these rounds. The top side just so vulnerable. Breaks open the smoke, pursuing one. Can't find him towards the Tetris side. That might be it.
You know what that means.
Yes, they do.
Back on out of there, boys. FaZe aren't giving Mouse an opportunity to settle into the environment.
Not at all.
The tempo of this game, it's just uppercuts after uppercuts right now.
And I feel like it's so deliberate. You know, you said something just before we went live about Carrick, and this is his home. The lights shining, the crowd chanting. He knows how to call a game of Counter-Strike built for this environment.
Yeah, you snack up the accolades. You can see who's more comfortable. Sure, Mouse have had this roster all year long. Shuey goes out, Spinks comes in. Consistency the key. FaZe the opposite. But back in the major playoffs and keeping up that bullshit. Let's see how long they can keep these rounds flowing. At the moment, if you're Cyclone, you're going to be talking about the tempo, right? Getting that focus on the heads-up Counter-Strike. This is a team that talks about the process. Well, right now, you need to surrender the outcome and trust your training. The pressure of the environment, it's not here to break you, it's here to reveal you. And let's see if Mouse are able to find who they really are. We know that they're able to make those top 4s. We've seen them get into those grand finals.
I mean, that round there, Brokey is running out hot with the bomb on his back. If that's not a statement of intent, I mean, I don't know what is.
Well, FaZe players aren't afraid. This is the thing. They know that they'll be traded. They know that the game is about tempo. It's not always about the X's and the O's. You're able to snowball against teams. And sure, the amount of matches, if you look at it with Jacob in the roster, Twist coming back, it's not an awful lot for FaZe. But with a couple days off, you're able to prep for this.
But I mean, as far as T-side rounds on Nuke go, FaZe have hit the bar,
yeah,
no?
For sure. And now it's about how much more can they throw on top. So Cyclone wants to avoid that. Timeout taken. They need to respond now. The loss bonus is the best thing in their favor at the moment. Yard control from Exertion. Playing aggressive. Twist is going to give him that runway.
Minuto, bro.
Smoke starts to fade. The glaze smoke. You have to back off. You can't hang around. You know utility like this will come in to flush you away. Exertion with the break.
Yeah, the game within the game.
Trying to set up the ability for Torji to take a line. You can see him playing over towards CT. So they want to try and tussle with Jimmy as they get a certain amount of contact over towards Yard. So Spinks on Hart, Brolin in the rafters. Brolin's done an awfully good job in some of these outings. 5 kills to his name in the early stages from the Swedish in-game leader. More util tells more progression. As Exertion trying to chip away. Brokey's AWP the difference maker this time. How are they able to insert the Latvian into the play? Waiting for a ramp push, right? As soon as you take yard control, we know teams like to push Hunt and ramp. Well, that's not the case right now as they block Squeaky again. 50-second mark.
Just hoping for an overstep. Torji committing in. No longer able to swing and rotate through. 2, however, ready for any ramp aggress. 35, they've got to go. Torji's bringing the fight forward. Jacob, are you ready for something like this? This is the kind of play. If Torji can start warming into things, hitting shots like this feels compulsory. What's the finish? There it is. Torji floats one, peeking back into Brokey, but up top is Brawler. Gets his, sticks around, ready for the parting. Number 2, combination of them both. Mouse just shut that down. Send them back to spawn.
Well handled. Great top hold. They weren't worried about players getting down secret. They didn't rotate anybody down to B. They were waiting for the sound cue. The doors, windows getting blown open. In that scenario, they just able to rotate in towards that top side, hold them at bay, and very well handled there from Mouse. It looks like Neo's opportunity to get on the microphone. This man, go back to 1.6 in the conversation for best 1.6 player of all time. Knows what it takes to win a major in CSGO. Frozen in the interview coming into this saying, when I hear his voice, I stay calm. Well, it's early stages. You've already got 5. You're playing with house money right now. Your money teetering ever slightly. You're able to get out a couple of Khalils, 1 AK, a P250 for Carrigan, and a whole lot of utility.
Just emerging moment's respite if Mouse can win this one.
It's going to be a long way back into this half even still, but consecutive is going to be compulsory to start that conversation. Nobody's skyrocketing with frags right now. That's virtue of some of the saves we've seen come out from Mouse. But by doing that, they've given themselves a cushion to work with. Now their loss bonus starts to tick on down, but that's in the virtue of winning. See if it can continue. No consecutive CT rounds just yet.
Looks like more of a yard-centric start.
This time they might want to actually use the smoke wall, because last time they threw it. Sure, there was a couple of breaks, but Mouse didn't rotate down to B. They weren't worried. Carrigan with the second wave. Exertion starting down Secret this time, so that's the change. Trying to be ahead of the play. Young man has a lot on his plate.
He's had a great tournament. Needs to keep it up in the playoffs.
Okay, so they're actually playing behind main. This is going to be great info for Mouse, but do they expect it to be a top play again? They're going to want to slink through and try and come through main and fight yard. Spinks is trying to seem like exertion now. Brolin is tucked over towards CT Ven, and here comes the fight.
He's in a really good position for this. Should have an opportunity. Lets them go. They slink it to Brolin. Masterful double. Just what you needed. Now brought down. It's a back-to-back double. Zertian one brought down with Carrigan on a pistol. And that bomb needs to be picked up. Low HP, tucked in. Bit of a turning of the tides of battle here. The CT's in lobby. And the T's on site.
Carrigan on an orb.
Carrigan on an orb. He's missed it. Gets win. Gets rid. Oh! Unless he hits another one of those. A quick flick from Carrigan. Second time's the charm. Tucked on fence. Jimmy in the clutch, denied by Brokey. Between the two of them, they get all five. Carrigan's a sniper.
Oh, maybe once upon a time, we're putting it back on show today and gives the crowd a little bit of something to cheer about there. That is Brolin with a double on the way in through main. Denies the entry point on his own. Blocks hard. Pivots in under so much pressure. Spinks is soldiering down the river here. The in-game leader steps up with two. But Carrigan battles in with that P250, the worst weapon. But picks up that AWP, and yeah, he's shining in the spotlight right now. Back in with the buys.
Oh, Torji shows him how it's really done.
Okay, but now with that info, Brokey can actually accelerate yard with his AWP. They know that the rotation of Torji is on a timer. Spinks is already on the roof.
Excuse me?
Okay, well, this is so much space. Spinks should have won the round from here. Carrigan's dead.
Carrigan is a dead man. Now they've lost the bomb.
How do you go back and get that?
Spinks love to see it throwing caution to the wind. Jimmy spots out, twists forward position, gets the info, gets the kill, and pulls Mouse back into a guaranteed third. There's another back turn. Look at this. Mouse just decided to go for aggression as the remedy.
A good bludgeoning round right here. I love the response, right? Fight and fire with fire, getting in their face. Instead of letting FaZe set the tempo, they've decided to hold up. Let's flip that switch. We know individually they probably scale themselves higher than the FaZe players, so getting stuck in like that, taking so much room, and then just battering them all across the map. It's young Jacob. Can he soften them up at all? He has one available. Nade and Molly. That combo could have been good, but exertion chips away, saves the lead at 5, staying alive. And now there's an open runway for a couple more. Finances, 1900 going into the next for either.
Yeah, they're broke.
Likely to see them shove all in this situation. So it needs to be something a bit pockety again, probably pacey once more. But as soon as that one starts with the AWP push ramp, you see the reactions from both teams, but Mouse were prepared for that. They get the lobby kill, Exertion's here to pick up the pieces. Well handled. Now it's Tech-9s aplenty, the util's there. First smoke outside, could follow up with more, but remember, you need to keep misdirection on nuke. It's the name of the game. Door not blown off, so Spinks is going to hold on to his nades. They're going to take their time as Carrigan lines up a smoke for Yard. Scoops up the others, trying to set Twist up with space. I feel like he's going to want to play in through main here.
On the break. Spinks, a dangerous game, and oh yeah, gets punished. They can't lose this one. They cannot afford to slip up against the Tech-9s. FaZe push their chip to the center of the table. Spam looks good, but Frozen returns fire, and Exertion's gone.
Gotta be that save. Everyone's favorite four-letter word into play again.
I can't quite believe it.
Broken in, that's a huge